Good morning to you. I know you recently visited Poland as part of a bipartisan congressional delegation. I want to get to exactly what you saw on the ground there and those Ukrainian refugees in just a moment. But first, you criticized President Biden for walking back his remark that Vladimir Putin cannot remain in power. He's not apologizing for that, but do you believe that Putin should be ousted?
Well, Adrian, thanks for having me on. And yeah, I mean, certainly no American, I think, wants Putin to remain in power. But those remarks from the president weren't helpful because he said he wanted to essentially remove him from power, and then he walked it back the next day, and now he says he didn't walk it back. So it's just confusing for not only our allies, but for the American people and the folks on Capitol Hill as well. What we should be doing here is arming the Ukrainians to the teeth with javelins, anti-ship missiles if they ask for them, plastic explosives, anti-tank mines, and the American version of the RPG, the S-300, which is a mobile surface-to-air missile, and give them everything they need to continue the fight. Because we want, at the end of the day, what do we really want here? We want Russia out of the Ukraine. We want Ukraine to remain independent and sovereign.
But do you think that any comment from a leader, let alone the President of the United States or someone who is on a delegation to Ukraine and Poland, do you think that those comments to say that Putin should be out of this office that he holds, do you think it's dangerous for leaders to say that, especially in light of the fact that we have such a tense relationship with Russia and yet are trying to help Ukraine?
Yeah, we just don't want to back somebody into a corner. You know, that's when, somebody's at their most dangerous, when they feel they have no options. And this man does have nuclear weapons. So what we want to do is contain the crisis in the war. And again, what are our goals? Yeah, it would be great to have a Jeffersonian democracy in Moscow. That's not going to happen today, and it may not happen ever. What we don't want is them to we'd love regime change in North Korea as well, but we're probably not going to get it. So let's be realistic with our goals. Let's watch our language. As Leon Panetta said, stay on message and be disciplined, because when you're the president of the United States, anything you say is going to be examined thousandfold.
I want to talk to you about cyber attacks right now. You serve on the Armed Services Cyber Subcommittee. President Biden recently warning American businesses to watch out for Russian hackers. Hasn't this been a problem for I don't know how long? What more could Russians do to tap into the secure systems for American businesses?
Well, Adrian, that's a great point. I mean, when JBS got hit in the Colonial Pipeline last year, we need to remain ever vigilant as Americans, whether you own a private company, certainly in the public sphere as well, with any government agencies. The Russians are very capable in the cyber world, and that's kind of the way a lot of wars and conflicts are going to be fought moving forward in the 21st century and beyond. And we do really have to watch out for that. Now, we have our own capabilities as well. I think that's one of the reasons why perhaps we haven't seen the Russians launch a full-scale cyber attack against the United States. It's because they know that we can counter that as well, and they're having enough problems right now with their economy and the economic sanctions that have been imposed.
What about American families? Should we all be concerned about Russian hackers, and what can we do to stop it?
Yes. Well, there are certain companies that you can go to, certain software you can use to protect yourself. I would be very concerned. Again, remember what your mama taught you? Because my mama taught me, better safe than sorry.
Yeah, and better send it in a conversation on the phone maybe than in an email if you're concerned about your email getting hacked. All right, thank you so much, Congressman Fallon, for being with us.
Thanks, Adrian. God bless. Take care.
Now to another big story that is flooding our social media feeds. Right now, more developments following that